videos with your campaign messages at affordable hosting fees. Log on to www.kbc.co.ke/2022 aspirants today and establish your brand authority as we lead towards the forthcoming general elections.
Be right here. Be right here.
Okay, you invested millions of shillings doing something that won't even help you in future.
I will never support a stupid career that you wasted my money on behind my back.
You will make a perfect doctor, just like your grandfather. Apparently, Len is missing.
So, I am not sick.
You have a problem.
You drink too much. I am not going to work with an artist who doesn't know his priorities. I want my drink. I want your drink. Where's my drink? I want it. Be right here. Be right here.
What about you?
Me, what?
What do you think of me?
Nothing.
Nothing is good. At least you're thinking of me.
The only person who speaks proper pure English in this entire institution is Theophilus Atito.
And where is your proper English gotten you?
By the way, Atito, today you look very fresh and refurbished.
Rejuvenate.
Then if the new teacher is beautiful and eloquent as you say, then she must be giving Lady Antibella sleepless nights.
Wait, Kinyajui. Yes. You mean you can... are you serious, Kinyajui? Yes. So you mean he can... Kinyajui, so I can give you a... No.
Top of the morning to you all and welcome to Good Morning Kenya. I am Jane Mamboy. We are glad you have chosen to start your morning with us right here on KBC Channel 1. It is the 10th day of March 2022. We are happy you are with us here as we get to close the week in style as we always do every single Thursday. As we say, Thursday is the new Friday. Kama kawaida, team iko tayari, iko tayari. Victor, sema tiyari. Tiyari. Wagwan.
Tayari.
Walan. Wagwan. Waridu.
Agadu fine.
Waridandid.
Wait a minute. Kids wamaliza primary school, KCP. Yesterday, across the city, it just brought back the old memories of that day when you're just done with your last paper of KCPE and you have got your books, your bag, and you are saying bye to your friends. Some of them we have never met years down the line.
Did you guys throw papers in the air when you finished your exams at the Central Square?
Yes. Yes. I was tumemalizana na class 8, thinking that is the end of your problems, my friend.
Feeling like grown-ups.
Anyway, to all the candidates who did their KCPE, you did well. You served 8 years in primary, more yet to come. To the parents, okay, it's time for them to take a break. Kidogo too. But the CS Magoa said that the results will be out in 2 weeks' time. So it's proper to plan ahead because this is one unique year, academically speaking. Welcome to the show. My name is
Regina Manyara. That is at Ray Manyara. Official station handle, however, remains at KBC Channel 1. Include where you are watching this particular broadcast from. Without further ado, those stories that have been making headlines. Good morning. This is In the Headlines, and I'm Regina Manyara. We start off with matters education, where the Cabinet Secretary, Professor George Magoha, reports that only 3 cases of exam malpractice were reported in the just concluded KCPE examinations. Magoha at the same time said that the examination results will be out within the next 14 days.
Wednesday marked the last day of the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education Examination 2021. The exercise saw over 1.2 million candidates write the exam, with social studies paper closing the 2021 KCPE examination chapter. Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha, who was at Old Kibra, noting that the exercise was smooth, with only 3 cases of exam malpractice reported.
Abraza Academy is in Marsabit, in Sololo, sub-county in Marsabit. And the center manager there took an image of the paper and dispatched it to others. And he has now been arrested and is in police custody. And we are not going to have mercy with him because he had a choice to do that. In Turkana, at Kadugili Primary School, was also found with a cell phone with prepared answer sheets. And he is also in custody as we speak.
Magoha says that the marking exercise will be over in the next 2 weeks.
We have already completed marking of all the papers in Nairobi that were done. Let us challenge each other that the results will come in the inside of 14 days.
In Kisumu County, 2 candidates missed the examination under unclear circumstances.
They even gave me the numbers of the parents. Some parents say they cannot trace their children, which is unfortunate. That is in one case. I think that was at Obambo Secondary School. I also went to a school in Barkorwa, where I even got to talk to the parent. But when the parent discovered that I was from the Kenya National Examinations Council, they shut off the phone and did talk again.
The Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development Director Professor Charles Ongondo urging parents to keep a keen eye on their children to ensure 100% transition rate to secondary school. Meanwhile, a candidate from Kipcherere Primary School in Baringo North sat for her KCPE at Baringo Referral Hospital after delivering a baby.
Who came to this hospital on 4th with labor pains. We managed the patient. She delivered on 5th.
Inmates at Kangeta Prison have expressed their gratitude for getting the chance to sit their KCPE exams. The prisoners hoping to get a chance to further their studies once the results are out.
Wametuahidi wakitoka jela wenye wanamaliza kifungo hivi karibuni watatumia hizo vyeti zao kutafuta kazi na kuendeleza masomo, especially wa join polytechnics.
Meanwhile, Coast Regional Commissioner John Elungata says that the national exercise was without major hitches, with only 2 cases of pregnancy recorded in Kilifi and Kipevu.
Just 2 out of the 109,000 candidates that sat this exam. So you can see that we have traveled a long way.
KCSE is set to commence next week on Monday. We wish the students all the best of luck. Now, in keeping up with trying to streamline the border sector is at government through the Interior Ministry, and that is the Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i announced that come 21st of March this year, the government will post 52 registration centers.
And down to business. After negotiations and the signing of 7 memoranda of understanding between Harare and Nairobi, President Kenyatta led the charge in asking the international community to lift the sanctions against Zimbabwe.
And we continue to call on the international community to remove these illegal sanctions.
President Kenyatta arguing that the people of Zimbabwe were bearing the brunt of the sanctions that have lasted for years.
We have also continued to emphasize our strong determination to continue with our support of Zimbabwe against the illegal sanctions that have been imposed on that country and continue to cause undue problems, issues, and trouble for the people of Zimbabwe. And this we consider to be unfair, for these hardships are artificially created.
I also took the opportunity to thank my brother, His Excellency President Kenyatta, the government and people of Kenya for warmly welcoming the members of the Shona community into the Kenyan family by granting them citizenship status in Kenya. I thank Kenya for this support and solidarity for Zimbabwe in the call for the unconditional removal of unilateral sanctions that were imposed on Zimbabwe by some Western countries.
With the volume of trade between the two COMESA partners said to be near insignificant, the two heads of state pledged to improve the trade relations between the countries and cooperate on the areas of mutual interest.
Now, for matters of bilateral trade, as well as Kenya asserting itself in as far as matters of security and representing Africa at the seat of the table when it comes to matters of security and the region there, we cross over to matters politics, where ODM leader Raila Odinga is assuring residents of Wajir County of enhanced security and improved infrastructure if elected president in the upcoming polls. Now, speaking during the Azimio la Umoja rally in Wajir town, Raila promised to prioritize completion of the Isiolo-Mogadeshe-Wajir Mandera highway. Now, political leaders from the region drummed up support for Raila Odinga, terming him as a defender of the marginalized.
The Azimio la Umoja Brigade took its presidential campaigns to Wajir County, where discussions centered on developing the northern frontier.
Kwa mfano sasa kama mifugo inakufa kwa sababu ya ukosefu ya maji, sio? Hawana chochote cha kukula. Hiyo jamii yote, kila jamii itapata kila mwezi kutoka serikali shilingi 6,000.
Presidential hopeful Raila Odinga promised to enhance security and improve infrastructure in northeastern region. Odinga further spoke of investing in livestock sector as a strategy to empower the pastoral communities.
Ndege itakuwa inatoka hapa na nyama kupeleka kule Arabuni, kule Dubai, na mpaka Ulaya, sawa? Alafu tunajenga hapa kiwanda kubwa ya leather. Ya kutumia ile ngozi ya ng'ombe na mbuzi na kondoo, tunatengeneza nayo leather ya kutengeneza nayo viatu.
Political leaders from the region drummed up support for Raila Odinga, describing him as a defender for those living in marginalized areas.
Baba ni baba ya vijana, baba ni baba ya wananchi wote, baba ni baba ya wanyonge, wa mama, wa malaku, sindio?
No identification document.
Ruiru DCIO Justus Wombati, while confirming the incident, said assorted documents belonging to Sasi Cosmetics Company Limited were found in the vehicle.
To carry out forensic analysis to identify the bodies because they did not have identification documents.
The bodies of the deceased were moved to the city mortuary as investigation into the incident commenced. Elsewhere, police in the same area have arrested 5 suspects in connection to kidnap on unsuspecting travelers along Thika Superhighway. The DCI officers also intercepted a vehicle KCR 725R at Githurai 44 believed to be used in the syndicate. The 5 suspects are in police custody pending identification parade and arraignment in court. In Dandora, residents are up in arms following allegations of rape and murder of a 3-year-old child whose lifeless body was found in a suitcase.
Jana nilikuwa kazini mwendo wa saa 3, nikapokea simu ya mama ambaye ni mke wangu. Akanielezea kwamba nikuje nyumbani na jambo lingine limetendeka na sio jambo la kawaida. Kufika nyumbani napata ati ni mtoto wangu mdogo amepotea.
Kwa mama huyu mtoto mwenye ameuliwa akarepiwa akatupwa kwa mto. Jana alikuwa anauza watermelon kuzunguka kwa jua akitafutia mtoto wake riziki. Anakuja napata mtoto amerepiwa na mwanaume ana akili zake timamu na ni siku ya kucelebrate wanawake.
Residents decry escalating cases of insecurity in the area, attributing the incident to police laxity.
Watu wanafaa waingililie, serikali ichukue sheria. Ndio mtu angeshikwa huyo atafungwa akuje ashika mtoto mwingine. Hiyo imekasirisha mama wengi Dandora.
On that note, we take a quick break. We'll be right back with more news, talking about matters sports as well as business. So do not go away.
Mimi na wewe tumemalizana. We are even now, right?
Takunipeleke kwa mamako. Kama yeye hataki kuniona basi mimi nataka kumuona.
Mimi pia nataka maisha mazuri. Teach me how to use it.
Uliniambia kwa kuna jambo napaswa kulijua. I'm listening.
No, Father, please. No. Nachotaka ni babako Father aje hapa kwa magoti.
Wrong, Pinky? Why are you sweating so much? You all right? Pinky.
Would I care? Just leave the past in the past. Jack and I have got a son. He's 5.
Can't leave.
You are no longer my husband. I don't need to listen to you.
We'll never marry you, all right? Never, ever. Make yourself aware of that.
Face is so pretty.
What are you doing? You're gonna leave all your money to Pinky, am I right? How dare you? How dare you talk back, you?
Oh my God, honey!
Finally, lawyer Clifford Kia has moved to court seeking to stop the election of 3 female advocates, Acklin Ingushia, Anna Kaunishe and Christine Kipsang, saying they are unqualified to run for representative positions in the Judicial Service Commission. The LSK elections are to be held on Thursday.
Now we cross to the business world, where Kenya and Zimbabwe have signed 7 agreements touching on the tourism sector and the promotion of investments in a bid to increase the volume of trade between the two countries. President Kenyatta, who has further said that Nairobi and Harare are working on reviewing their bilateral air services agreement, which will ease air travel between the two.
Kenya's exports to Zimbabwe stood at 12 billion shillings in 2020, while Zimbabwe's exports to Kenya were recorded at more than 50 billion shillings in the same year. President Uhuru Kenyatta says the government is keen on establishing a robust partnership with Zimbabwe, with a review of bilateral relations expected to boost trade activities between Nairobi and Harare.
Underpinning these actions are 7 memorandums of understanding that have been signed, which will go a long way towards deepening our diplomatic, economic, and people-to-people cooperation, and enable us to work together to address critical issues, in particular those related to youth employment and women empowerment.
Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa, who jetted into the country today for a 2-day official visit, says the country is working on strengthening Zimbabwe's ties with Kenya to lessen the negative after effects of COVID-19 on its economy.
It is through the implementation of our MOUs, which have been articulated by my brother, that our economies will be transformed for higher standards of living for our people.
Mnangagwa further notes that Zimbabwe's relations with Kenya will ensure the two countries take full advantage of the continental and regional trading blocs. Talks between Zimbabwe and Kenya will also touch on strategies towards mitigating the adverse effects of climate change and how to emerge quickly from the economic woes presented by the COVID pandemic.
His Excellency President Kenyatta and I discussed the ways to take full advantage of the regional and the continental trading blocs to which our countries are members. This, in our view, will go a long way towards increasing the volume of bilateral trade for the realization of inclusive and sustainable economic growth.
Our technical teams are under instruction to expedite the implementation of the actions that have been agreed upon today, and we are very keen, Your Excellency, to build on this historic visit to establish a strong and vibrant partnership between our two countries.
Now, still keeping up with business, an update is that Karachi Breweries is seeking an 18-month grace period before it can start clearing the tax arrears amounting to millions of shillings. Further details are available on our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke. Now to the sporting arena. Football Kenya Federation Caretaker Committee Chairperson, retired Judge Aaron Rengera, has called on the FKF branch officials to work closely with the committee in order to rescue the current football situation in the country. Speaking after the postponement of a stakeholders meeting called by the Caretaker Committee, Rengera urged players not to panic, saying the committee is working hard to resolve their issues.
Suspension. Our intention was to brief them on the status of football since the establishment of the Caretaker Committee, to inform them about the impact and the effect of the FIFA ban and engage.
Coming to the next story, of course, the main read. Here they have captioned it, "The Beast of Forest Road." The Beast of Forest Road. Police say that the suspect escaped via a sewer duct in Mukuru, Kayaba, where he was traced by law enforcement, and the manhunt still continues for him. They have also sent a team down to his village in Kisii, where they're also continuing with the search. Zachary Nyaoga Obadiah, the border operator who has been identified by police as the mastermind of the gang that sexually harassed a Zimbabwean diplomat who was just going about her business. It is said that she was moving from Gigiri to Parklands, and this has triggered a nationwide crackdown on the sector. And yesterday, there were barely any borders on the roads, and those that were allowed to operate, that were mostly for courier services, they were walking or rather riding with a sticker at the back of their courier containers written, "We are sorry." That is a statement they were sending yesterday. And also there was a viral video that was circulating still yesterday of some border riders in one way or the other retaliating or acting out in regards to the crackdown that is ongoing. But looking at this particular story, they have featured it as one of the possible points of conversation when it comes to the safety of diplomats in our country, considering she was a Zimbabwean citizen and the Zimbabwean president is actually in the country. And just 2 weeks ago, an Egyptian diplomat was also shot dead in the Kilimani area. So that is an area of concern by the DCI and the police, as has been captured on this story, but we'll be giving you more details in just a bit. Moving on to some politics, is there a fallout in the offing in Oka? It's make or break talks for Kalonzo as KANU chairman Gideon Moi threatened yesterday to sever links with One Kenya should Kalonzo Musyoka fail to make a deal and heed to the calls to join the Azimio la Umoja outfit, and especially so given this coming Saturday, it is expected that their party will be naming former Premier Raila Odinga as the official flag bearer of this particular unit. That is basically what the front page has for us this day. Victor.
And you know what? On that story, the beast of Forest Road. So somebody is saying that he's been moved from the woods, from the forest, and put in the public. You know what? Somebody said that that guy has a wife at his age. From the picture we can see on the Daily Nation, he's aged. Perhaps he has a family. Father of two. Yes. And you left your house in the morning to go to fend for your family, and here you are making headlines for all the wrong reasons. You know what? Think before you act. It's a cliche statement, but it means a lot. On the front page of the Star newspaper, Raila, no joint primaries for Azimio parties. ODM leader tells supporters to elect Azimio candidates. This is why we have got over 15 outfits backing former Prime Minister to face off. Actually, this is seen as a way to avert the fallout in the Azimio la Umoja outfit. They say that you are free to elect any candidate of your choice, but take that vote to the presidential ballot. That is what it means. Kamende pledges break from Harvey ahead of polls. We have got Law Society of Kenya elections happening today, and we have got 5 candidates battling for the presidency, and we'll be having that story later on, probably in the evening or tomorrow, depending on how the results will go. And still on the front page here, I have hundreds of motorbikes seized in crackdown. Actually, if you happen to have walked in the CBD yesterday within Nairobi, it's quite different. It's quiet, it's peaceful, because they have been pushed out of the CBD. And that crackdown, the government says that will continue until some sanity is restored. Lift sanctions against Zimbabwe, Uhuru tells international community. As Jane has correctly put it, the president is in the country for that.
Followed that particular agreement. Nick Salat, who's the SG of KANU, is also on record saying that it's high time we move forward. For those that do not want to come forth with us, then it's high time we move forward. So what does this mean for OKA as a coalition, and also the parties that are in this particular coalition, knowing fully well that he only has 2 days to decide whether he's joining Azimio or going at it alone, again, bearing in mind that he has dispelled any talks of working with Kenya Kwanza. Where exactly does this leave Kalonzo Musyoka, even as we await that Saturday NDC from Azimio? Only time will tell. Well, away from that, as it pertains to that main suspect of that Friday incident, High Tech Club helped identify the key suspect. That is what the header has it here. And when we get to the details, I'll just be giving you details of how this happened. Clearly, they're still tracing him, and obviously they'll bring all these persons to book. And on the sidebar of the front page of this paper, KCP exam results out in 14 days, whereby the CS says that marking of test papers has already started, even as KCSE is slated to begin on Monday. And lastly, bar owners cry foul over police bribe, whereby it just states that in a period of 1 month, police officers go to pocket as much as 200 million just in bribes stemming from bar owners. How does this happen? And why exactly do they do this? Regina.
The copy of the Standard this morning, the front page is all about politics, as well as, you know, now the new task ahead in as far as IEBC is concerned with Marjan Hussein. Marjan then appointed the new IEBC Chief Executive Officer. Now let's talk about matters politics, and the header here is the hardliners, mini kingmakers. You know, that sounds like an oxymoron, because would you have a mini king? Well, if you have a mini kingmaker, well, that is that. Now, with only 30 days remaining to deposit coalition deals with parties registrars, some political operatives are either aiding or impeding alliance building. Now, caught in the middle of this are rivals to Ruto and Raila, who are busy wooing new allies and sealing pacts. Now, in this particular read, we have 5 gentlemen, and one of them is Moses Kuria, who is Gatondo South MP. He says, time is of great essence here, and I have picked my jersey already, and I am moving on to the next stage. On the other hand, Johnston Withama, UDA party chairman, says, it all depends on who you are and from which angle you are viewing me. It is true some believe that I am a hardliner, others not. On the other hand, Junat Mohammed, who is Suba East MP and quite vocal supporter of Raila Odinga, says, whatever I do so for the greater good of my party leader and my party. I'm also aware that I'm a target of all manner of attacks. On the other hand, Cleophas Malala, Kakamega senator, says, let's not lie to one another. Junat once said he was a warrior of ODM and would not think twice on Raila's directives. Me too. I'm Musalia's Junat. Quite interesting, right? This is a conversation that Victor is going to be having, especially after this weekend. The tension is quite high in the political scene, given we are expecting a meeting to take place on the 12th, that is next week. So what we're going to see this weekend is going to give us an insight as to what would be happening on the 12th of March. On the other hand, Enoch Wambua, who is a Kitui senator, says, I am not a hardliner. What I state is purely a standpoint of my party leader, and therefore I'm amplifying his sentiments, and I can never hurt him politically by contracting his position. The hardliners, mini kingmakers. Mini kingmakers. Okay. Then we have good, bad, and ugly of Ruto's tour abroad. Now, this particular tour has, elicited a lot of debate in the political scene. Critics coming out and saying and faulting the deputy president on his statements uttered while there and the persons he met. We don't know what is your take in regard to this matter, including stories that we have given precedence on our bulletin. So we are open to your feedback. Kindly include where you're watching this particular show. By his relatives, a close relative, that whatever he was wearing in that video is what he actually left home wearing that morning. According to this particular relative, they say he met him when they haven't specified the gender, but they said he was in a dark green half jacket and a red t-shirt. And when you look at that video, it is the stained particular clothes that individual has that was opening the door to the victim's car, forcing her out. Now, the manhunt intensified yesterday as detectives went out across the city deploying teams trying to locate him. He was able to escape via a what? He was able to escape the dragnet via a sewer duct Tuesday afternoon. It is said that he actually operates at the Hazina bus stop, but this particular day he had received a request via a mobile app to take a particular delivery to Westlands, and on his way back is when he met up with this particular commotion. And as is tradition with border riders, and this is according to this daily, they always gang up to protect one of their own, and he was just doing what, according to this paper, says was natural to them. So they say he is a father of 2. He comes from a village in Kisii where they say he's a father of 2. He's just an ordinary border rider who was caught at the wrong place at the wrong time. All right.
The police have, of course, working together with the DCI, have assured that it will not be long before the suspect is arrested and charged. However, he has since switched off his mobile phone on Monday when he was informed that the police are looking for him. And even when some law enforcement officers were sent to his home in the village, his wife is said to have disappeared into the sprawl on seeing a bunch of strangers approaching the shed in their home. So that is that in regards to this story. But there's also a piece here that has been written, and the title is, "I am tired of being told to be careful in a man's world." This is an article that has been written by a woman. It goes back to a case where she actually talks of how the first time her father went to her school was when she told the dad that they have a specific male teacher. And this is back when she was in class 2. Calls them casually my girlfriend and my sweetheart. And that, she remembers, was the first time she alianza kuambiwa, be careful, you know, things are not safe out here, be careful. So, stop telling us to be careful, tell men to leave us alone. With that, we want to bring to a close this particular segment. Of course, you can catch this and more details on our website, www.kbc.co.ke. Use the hashtag Good Morning Kenya to let us know where you are watching us from. Our official station handle is at KBC Channel 1. Individual handles at Ray Manyara, at Dorina Range, at Victor Olo, and at Jane Wamboy.
Keep abreast of the developments live from the National Assembly and the Senate.
On our members of parliament.
The questions.
When is the construction expected to commence?
The motions.
Beg to give notice of the following motion.
The debate.
Will as many as want to be to say aye.
The statements.
A statement on an issue of general topical concern.
The petitions.
Order number 4, petitions.
Stay tuned to KBC Channel 1 and Radio Taifa for live proceedings from both houses of parliament from Tuesday to Thursday. Live, uncensored, unedited. KBC.
It is open, of course, clearly, obviously, to the public. So how is the area looking like? Again, also knowing very well that the expressway is still not yet complete in terms of construction, much as they opened that. But they did that to just reduce on the heavy traffic that was being experienced in between these two roundabouts. That is between the Kenyatta Avenue roundabout and the University Way roundabout. So perhaps you can begin from the Kenyatta Avenue before we go all the way to the University Way roundabout. This is how it is looking like. Remember that this is again one of those major roundabouts found in the city center. So clearly always a lot of activities on this particular roundabout. Again, also knowing very well it gets to branch off to major, minor as well as some sleep roads. So obviously oftentimes you really be expecting to be seeing heavy kind of traffic. It is the situation right now, but not throughout the entire roundabout, just specific as you leave the section or as you head over to the lane that gets you to the city center. This is from the Kenyatta Avenue roundabout, but as you leave areas of perhaps Kenyatta, Upper Hill, coming to the city center via the same route, that is Kenyatta Avenue, on that stretch, green all through, no traffic at all, moving at a very swift pace. However, just before you get to the roundabout, this is around areas of All Saints. Again, one of those busy areas. That is where there's really heavy kind of traffic, particularly on that lane that is heading to, not actually heading, particularly on that lane that is leaving city center, coming through the ways or coming through the area around Kenyatta Avenue. This is as you head over to areas of Valley Road, Abik Skodeg, all the way to sections and areas of Ngong Road. So specific on that lane is just where there's really heavy kind of traffic. And I mean, it's really quite interesting because this is on that lane as you leave the roundabout, heading over to these areas that I'm mentioning, which is again what you wouldn't really be expecting to see in this early morning hour, because oftentimes, and this is particularly in Nairobi, whereby you'd really be seeing heavy kind of traffic as you leave the estates coming to the city center because of obvious reasons. Obviously, again, also a lot of activities as you head over to the CBD, but this is just the situation right now this morning. So again, if you're leaving areas of Valley Road, Hurlingham, Ngong Road, Bagathi Way, or even Langata using this particular stretch, it is a good time for you. And if you're on the road still, a good time for you, because right now moving at a very swift pace on that specific stretch as you head over to the city center. But if you are perhaps going to these other areas, maybe your workstation or different kind of activities is along these areas, then where you'll have to really make do with that heavy kind of traffic is around this area. That is around the All Saints Cathedral. In fact, at this particular point, it's not moving at all, just at a standstill, what we call a parking lot. That is what is happening on that stretch. But again, one of those routes you can use. Actually, today this route always serves as a good alternative route, but right now it's not looking good at all. That is Nyerere, heavy kind of traffic on that stretch, and that continues up from where it begins from. That is as you branch off from Kenyatta Avenue all the way up to the other side of the University Way roundabout. But how is the University roundabout looking like? Is it the same as how Kenyatta Avenue is? You know, heavy kind of traffic. This is how the roundabout is looking like this morning. In fact, so different from how Kenyatta Avenue is. This is heavy kind of traffic being witnessed throughout this entire roundabout, and it's not moving at all, just at a standstill, and that trickles down up from the roundabout all the way to Nyerere, as well as State House Road, and also on the other section as you leave areas of Wayaki, of course, coming from areas of Kikuyu, Kino, Kangemi, Westlands, coming all the way to the city center, and also as you head over to the CBD, they are going through sections of the Globe roundabout. That is just where we're really sporting heavy kind of traffic, and the same also trickles down to Uhuru Highway stretch, or on that lane that heads you over to areas of Kenyatta Avenue, as well as areas of Wayaki Way. That is how it is looking like this morning in terms of traffic, obviously trying to
like this.
I really care about you.
What are you hiding?
Because when we listen to what's flooding the entertainment industry right now in Kenya, it's more gengeton, it's more hip hop, but you chose to go a different route, R&B.
Well, it's because to me, I always believe that what makes you different makes you special. So when you're different in the industry, it's easier for you to stay on track on exactly what you want to pursue and be able to stand out, no matter what you're doing.
Let's talk about your influences, because R&B is not an easy genre. Speaking as a producer myself, R&B requires a lot of technicalities. You can't really hide with the R&B.
True.
So who were your influences when you were coming up?
First, it started with Michael Jackson, then Justin Bieber, then Jason Derulo, then recently Stone State. All of them have different type of flavors in the R&B sector, and I like that, and I want to bring my sound.
Do you want to emulate, or do you want to copy the sound, sample it?
More like they gave me the push to be able to, they showed me that I can be able to do this, because at first, it was more like emulating, because you have to start from somewhere. So, and then the more I emulated, the more I realized I have my own, I can write songs, I can be able to come up with melodies, and that's how it started, the journey, and that's how I decided, you know what, I can also be an artist myself.
Speaking of emulating, I know a lot of people back at home who emulated Michael Jackson back in the day. Were you one of those kids where you used to dance in front of the mirror and try to emulate the dance moves?
Yeah. It was a fun journey because, you know, he made me love music, made me see music as something you can be able to enjoy. And every time it usually comes on the channel, I usually just dance, or maybe afterwards I just listen to the radio and just dance in the mirror. Yeah, every time I listen to it.
What did your parents say when you were coming into now yourself as a musician?
Well,
because they saw you, you know, growing up. They clearly saw your love for music, Michael Jackson, and the influences that you had. So what did they say in terms of now you coming into your own as a musician?
Well, at first, you know, my mom actually thought I would leave this because she knew that I loved music. I was going to do it, but then she thought it was a phase, like it will just pass. You'll just go to high school and then you'll just realize your life. You decide to do something else. But instead, that's what I kept on doing. But because she did not have a foot in the industry, she did not understand what was going on. I took it like she did not want to support me. So like I ended up doing something else, but then afterwards I was like, this is still what I want to do. And then when I explained, it was much easier to be able to get the assistance I needed. Yeah.
What would you say it takes to become a superstar in Kenya?
Well, one, you gotta believe in yourself. You gotta stand out. You have to make sure you do the most and in a decent way, and you'll be great. Yeah.
Let's backpedal a bit. You said doing the most.
Yeah, doing the most, not in like you just do anything. No, you know. Okay.
Because when we look at our current industry in Kenya, there's a demographic.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot of our entertainers, they're more kiki than talent.
Yeah.
Which is a bit harsh, I feel.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Well, to some point, some of them portray that. So at some point, you can't really blame people for actually saying that because you can actually see it. And I believe it's what you make yourself to be and the image you want to put out, your brand. That is what should drive you in whatever you're doing. Because, you know, some people just they just think it's just making the music. You have to be the brand itself. You have to show what you want to put out, because apart from people liking your music, if you're not a likable person, it's easy for people to just brush you off. Yeah.
Do you feel like now you're signing up to be an act? When you say that, like you have to be likable on social media and in person.
Yeah.
What about the days when you don't feel like smiling?
Well, it depends. I got what it takes to be yours. Prove to me you got what it takes to be mine. 'Cause I got what it takes to be yours. You gotta prove. You gotta prove to me, baby. You gotta prove to me, baby. You gotta prove. You gotta prove to me, baby. Come anywhere.
Hey. Thank you. I'm looking at the people behind the camera. I'm seeing their reactions. So I can only imagine the people back at home. Those vocals are on point.
Thank you.
How do you get to where you are in terms of your talent? A lot of practice daily?
Definitely. There's no day I take a break in terms of vocally practicing. If I'm not literally in the studio or maybe in a rehearsal center, I just practice at home. I make sure I do the songs, I do the work, and even because it's something I love doing, so even if I do not want to practice, I just find myself singing. So it's just in my blood.
Second nature.
Yeah.
Nice. Now we have a common friend, Victoria Gishora.
Yeah.
And she's featured in one of your projects.
Yeah, exactly.
How did that link up happen? And tell me about now working with her.
Okay, the funny thing is, there's an artist called Nika Gessa. We were with him in the studio, and he said there was this lady who knows how to sing that's coming here they're making a song together. So I was just in the studio because I wanted some things done. And then I had her sing, and I'm like, I want her in my song. I want her. There's a song like I wrote, and me and the producer were like, it feels unfinished, and I feel like someone else should hop in, but I didn't know who. So that's when she came in, and I was like, she's the one. And that's when we started working together, and she's really accommodating and really fun to be around, and it was just, the connection was just fluid. Yeah. And that's how we became workers. We were able to work together. Yeah.
And now what Victoria normally does, what she's trying to do rather, she's trying to dive into the live entertainment scene. Like most artists in Kenya these days, young artists, which is actually, good for us as fans of music. What about you? Do you want to dive more into live production, live music? The whole performance aspect of music?
Yes, I love performing. Performing is like, recording is because I want to reach other people, to be able, other people in the world to be able to listen to my songs. But performing, when I'm in the stage, that's when I feel most alive. So, yeah.
When we think about live performance, performers in Kenya who sing R&B, I think of the likes of Harry Kimani. I think of Eric Wainaina.
Yeah.
So who do you feel most aligned to in terms of Kenyan music?
Well,
when someone says, I can compare you to...
Compare me to... Okay, that one, I haven't really thought about it because I listened to Eric Wainaina. I liked his songs. Eric Wainaina, Nikita Kering. I love their songs, and they're really a great impact in my music, and they do really help me be able to make my music different. So in order to sound like I do not think I know. Maybe you tell me who you think. Yeah.
Who you sound like?
Yeah.
No, that's not the question. Now, in terms of aligning yourself with the live performance aspect.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Eric Wainaina.
Eric Wainaina.
Yeah.
I like Eric Wainaina's trajectory in terms of what he does with his music. It's more of message songs.
Yeah, true.
We've seen political songs, but his songs are more patriotic, which I think is a bit different.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the young people need to do more of that?
Yeah, but you have to have the right words, the right information to be able to embark in that, because when I listen to Eric Wainaina's songs, it makes sense and I can relate.
Artist who wants to start, and of course it's a new day. It's not 2017 anymore. It's 2022. There's a new way we're using internet as entertainers. So what advice would you give someone watching you right now?
Well, basically, first you have to believe in the craft you're putting. You have to be serious in what you want to do. Get the necessary information means you have to go and see. Like if you want to be a performing artist, just performing artist, you have to go and research what it takes to be that. If you want to go into recording, you have to embark in producers, see how you can be able to write songs. You have to write songs, literally. See, in short, just find the necessary information for exactly what you want to pursue and the right motivation, and you'll be good.
The right motivation.
Yeah.
What motivates you?
Personally, the people I impact, actually. My fans actually are the ones who motivate me the most, because whenever I'm performing live, the energy I bring and the energy they give back is just amazing, and I'm like, wow. Yeah.
That's interesting when you say that and when you put it like that, because I've seen a lot of live performers and they say there's some energy I'm getting from the fans.
Yeah.
Could you explain it to someone like me?
Okay, let me try. When you are trying to put out something, and whatever you're trying to put out, it gets what you want, the necessary reaction you want, or maybe a different reaction that is shocking but at the same time interesting. That's the kind of feeling it gives, because it's like I'm feeding you good vibes. you feel the good vibes, have fun. I see you enjoying the songs, because my essence is to make you entertained, to be entertained. So if I see you being entertained and I see you having fun, then that is that is good for me, and I feel like I have made an impact.
Nice. Thank you so much for coming through to Good Morning Kenya. Where can we find you on social media? And before that, let's talk about, tell us about your new project.
Okay, basically you can find me everywhere under Vice O'Brien, VISSEROBRIEN, everywhere, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, anywhere you'd want to find, even in Spotify, anywhere. You can just find me under that. And the next project I'm having is more of live performances. Now is when I'm embarking in that. I just released an EP in February 14th, and I'm having a live performance on the 16th of this month, next week actually. It's at Move Cafe, just directly opposite Life Plaza. So to purchase tickets, do we need to go to your social media platforms? Yeah, just link to my bio in Instagram, and you can be able to find the Move Cafe gig ticket. They're just 200. Yeah, you can come have fun. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
That was Visa O'Brien. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly.
Yeah, you're good.
Visa O'Brien. And next up is his new track.
Nilishawakabidhi moyo wangu, wakaniacha na maumivu, kidonda ukakiponya, baby. Usijekiuka mashaza, moyo wangu uko kwa rua, aweni waifu material, so mchepuko wa dharura, baby. Halua yawe, basi nipe michezo ya Mombasa, makwini wange, sheri nanga. Baby, you're the one for me. Baby, you're one on one. Baby, when you want,
nimekupea kura za roho yangu, my love. You're my number one, index 001.
Acha nikupe kura za roho yangu, my love. You're my number one, index 001.
Meeting nimekubali, you kill me, na nitatangaza kwa radio na TV. Kupanda miti nilisha sare, si mimi, I mean it. Usishike nare, hizo ruma sifiti. Kujitenga misidhani, kamgonjwa na dakitari. I need you, my baby. Love you, girl. Kukucheza misidhani, kimaradona iwezekani. I need you, my baby. I love you, girl. Nimekupea kura za roho yangu, my love. You're my number one, index 001.
Acha nikupe kura za roho yangu, my love. You're my number one, index 001.
Index
001.
Index
001.
Index
001. You're my number one.
Nimekupea kiti, sasa wendo chair lady. Yeah, nimelipa tikiti, so tonight I'm in your city. Yeah, formation ni gani? Location ni wapi? Uko down south ama leo uko Malindi, nimekupea hisia za roho yangu. My love, you're my number one lady. 001, nimekupea kura za moyo wangu. My love, you're my number one index. 001.
Log on to the KBC website at www.kbc.co.ke to get the latest breaking news, entertainment, sports, politics, lifestyle or business trends from Kenya and around the world. Never miss new episodes from your favorite TV shows, reruns and movies. Just stream online or watch live on your YouTube channel at KBC Channel 1 TV shows. For the day's biggest stories, trustworthy news and family entertainment, log on to KBC Channel 1. Watch what you want anytime, anywhere.
Being Sports wants it, Free Sports wants it, Ego TV wants it, and the people at home want it.
Who is your new #1 contender?
Normally when infants cry, they're crying because of distress. But in this scenario, they are moving, but they're making no noise. Remember, there's a certain stage infants reach where they're curious and they put everything inside their mouth. Huh? So if you see them having that kind of actions, you suspect they're choking. Face down. Face down. Okay. And you hit just between their shoulders 5 times. Now, the strength of which you used to hit is dependent on the age and the size of the baby. The rule is, the bigger the baby, the harder the hit. So you hit it 5 times. 1.
play this song to the lovely lady here. This is Speaking
Here's a new song.
Girl, you're my focus every time we walk in the room. Putting notice to all the girls and all of the dudes. Darling, you like magic everywhere. You're like the candlelight shining in the dark. Wondering if you got time for me to spare, to be the brightest star shining in my darkness. Come pick me up. Come pick me when I'm falling. Pick me when I'm falling. Come pick me up. Come pick me when I'm falling. Pick me when I'm falling. 'Cause I'm falling for you. For you. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I'm falling for you. Drive me crazy with every look. Oh, oh, oh. You are the type I need that feels my heart. And I know that people are to talk too much, but I know it's a rush to know they think about us. Yet the people are to talk too much, but I know it's a rush.
Of such things as Miss Independent. And we're still in the International Women's Day week at Akama Ilipita. Tell us about this one, what it's all about, what it's champions for.
Thank you. So Miss Independent is all about the girl child empowerment. We emphasize on girls out there to be independent in a way that you go to school, you get your good grades, you get your certificate, you know, you get your life in order, you be independent. It's basically we advocate for girls to do the right thing at the right time. That's being independent.
You advocate for girls to do the right thing at the right time. I feel like that tag of Miss Independence is going to really take a good chunk of our conversation. Like I said, bado tuko kwa hii wiki ya Women's Day, so we're going to have that conversation as we move forward. But let me come to you, Kelly. You are Mrs. Supermodel Kenya. When you look at pageants or modeling, we don't really think that kuna za kuwa na Mrs. It's always Miss something, Miss something. What does this one advocate for? What is it all about?
Thank you. Mrs. Supermodel Kenya is actually, it's under Little Miss of Kenya. That is my agency. It's normally to encourage women who have become mothers or who are married and they still have that talent in modeling, or they really want to show something to the society. You know, modeling is not about the nice figures, the nice curves. Actually, a model is a mirror to the society. So that is why we have that, because you need to be a mirror to the society, to show girls out there. Just because you're a mother, just because you're married, doesn't limit you to anything. It's not a limitation. In any case, it's a step up.
Are you sure it has nothing to do with the figures?
No.
And the cafes? Are you sure?
Okay, we have that, yes. But no, it's not all about the figure and the face and the body size. We really have a lot to modeling, a lot.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, true. It doesn't matter your size, your curves, your color. Everyone is beautiful.
Wow, that's interesting.
Actually, we have Miss Curvy. Miss Curvy, you
plus size.
Yes, you're thick, we have Miss Plus size. So it's not all about the curves. No. We have a lot on the table.
So when did this one start, Miss Independent Kenya? How long has it been running?
So we had our first edition last year, 1st June, and I was fortunate enough to be the first Miss. Yes.
So hii ni kitu tu ya juzi.
Yes.
Then you said that it's all about empowerment of women. So it means that here ina like Mr. Something is just specifically women and young girls.
Yes, it's only Miss.
It's only Miss.
Yes.
And is it in Nairobi? Where is it?
Well, it's Miss Independent Kenya, so we accommodate all the 47 counties. Then we have a platform for the kids, whereby their title is now Little Miss Independent Kenya. I also have my ambassador for kids. She's called Georgina Kate.
Mbona hujakuja na yeye hapa tumuone?
She's in school.
She's in school.
Yes.
Miss Supermodel Kenya, you've said that, I mean, it's out there not just to show that it's only for, if I could say, maybe not married kind of women, but it's also a platform to show that if you are married and you have children, perhaps, it's still a chance for you to continue practicing or doing that which you love. So when did this one start, Miss Supermodel? How long has it been there?
It started in 2020. That is when we had the first crown in Kirinyaga County. We did that in Kirinyaga County. 2020, in 2020, 2021, we still went another round. I was supposed to go to India, but I didn't go because of the COVID. So because of that, we didn't have another round. I still regained my crown for 2021 and 2022.
So umekuwa hapo since 2020?
Exactly.
Umekuwa na hiki rauni tangu 2 years ago.
Wacha niite Grace in another way too. Yeah.
You said that was in Kirinyaga, right?
Yeah.
So is it spread across the country or it's just in one county?
It's actually in all the counties. We did that in Kirinyaga. Little Miss of Kenya, we go for finals every time. We start from county level to regional level and then to national level. So the nationals, we normally have a county holding the nationals. 2020 we held it in Kirinyaga County. 2019 was in Embu. Last year we had in Nairobi. So we go rotational. Yeah, it's not in one county, it's all worldwide.
It's all, is it worldwide or just in Kenya?
It's in Kenya, sorry. No, let me call it worldwide because I was supposed to go in India, so.
So then that does it mean that this is actually something that
we have a way with PR? Why don't you do something that has something to do with PR? And then with my glasses, I decided, modeling, you're a mirror to the society. Why don't you go that line and show anyone out there that just because you have a challenge, it's not a limitation to you, it's an extra thing on you. So yeah, I went into modeling so that I model in glasses.
You model in glasses?
Exactly. Actually, I'm Kelly, the model in glasses.
Describe yourself as Kelly, model in glasses. So then why did you feel the need to continue? I mean, just like what I've asked Liz, because like I've said, it's always looked at, like you began in primary and it was for fun. Oftentimes it's either for fun or as a side hustle, or I didn't get any other kind of thing to do, so let me try this. And so because of that, when it starts, it finishes up until you get something else to do. So for you, why did you feel the need to continue up until now, where you get to a point where by just trying to show us that even when you're a mom and having kids, you can still do this?
I wanted to be a mirror. It's again because of my eyesight. I'm short-sighted, myopic. Like once I take my glasses, that's another story we're talking about.
You can't even see me.
It's that bad. So because of that, I decided with this challenge, let me be a mirror to others. With your challenge, use something, you can be a star. You can light up anyone's candle out there. So yeah, I took it because of that.
I mean, it's all about modeling. That is what we are talking about this Thursday morning. We just want to better understand about this industry. Of course, our focus being redefining the model space and the model industry in Kenya. And this is what my guests are helping us talk about. And of course, if you have questions, clarifications, and also those stereotypes that you keep thinking about that people have talked about, shoot them in. I will ask them. They have been in this space for a good while, so they're better placed to help us understand all about that. Sticking back with you, Kelly, Liz has been in this space for 6 years, told us the reason why she wanted to still do this even after high school. How long have you been here and how has it been?
I've been here since 2018. It's been amazing because 2019 I was Miss Embu, Little Miss South Kenya Queen Mother. 2020 I got a Miss Universe first runners up and a Little Miss South Kenya. Then still 2020, I still got this crown that I'm having today. So it's been amazing. And then we do charity work. And you know what? I would call this journey as a model amazing because of the charity work. It's not all about the crowns I got. It's about the people I have impacted.
Yeah, it's all about the people that you've impacted. Which people are this? Tell us more.
We do children's home, we do street feeding, we do all that. Secondly, I still have models who have joined modeling because of me. So you see those small achievements and you see the smiles we see when we go to feed the children, the street kids, and we visit them in their homes. Those are the people I have impacted. They're everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Liz? I mean, it's all about redefining, changing the space, making some form of impact, not just wearing the crowns and looking nice and sitting pretty in good dresses. What impact have you made, being that you were the first one to hold this crown? That was in 2021?
Yes. So being the first Miss, I wanted to do something unique. So first of all, just recently last month on the 26th, I launched a project. It's called Miss Independent Festival, which shall be running each year. It's about all the talents. We had football, we had modeling, we had performances. That was the mini launch. So I'm working on the main launch now, which will be now the first of its kind, the first edition. Then from there, each year it shall be running, just to give people out there a platform. You know, these youths, I did it in Mukuru kwa Ruben. Yes. Then last Saturday, I did a peace awareness campaign in Kibera alongside Miss Top Model Kenya. She's called Mercy. So we went to Kibera, we were advocating for peace while giving them just something small, unga, sanitary towels.
So this initiative, is it just going to be targeting women only, or it's holistic?
So for now we are focusing on women. But
what is this craze about? I'm a woman, but sometimes don't you feel just wearing the title?
No, it's not about. Actually, in Little Miss of Kenya, if you're a queen, you wear the crown and you do not have a project, you are decrowned. Yeah, comfortably, and your first runners-up takes it. So we always have a project every year, like she mentioned. Miss Top Model actually is under Little Miss of Kenya. So we had a peace talk and giving last weekend. So if you can remember, there's a time people in Makema, it's in Mbeere South, they were evacuated from their land and they were homeless. I actually took it as my responsibility because I have a crown in Mbeere South. I am a Miss Mbeere South. Let me go see my people because they are my people and give them whatever I had. So we started that. We also did one in Embu. We've done Korogocho. We've done Kibera, Sevelari. We've done a lot. We've done Zimmerman. So it's not all about my locality. No, it's something we do under Little Miss South Kenya. Yeah.
And what about finances? Because, I mean, your projects are all good. How about finances? Is it upon you? Is it the agency? How do you go about it?
We as models, we pledge what amount of money you're going to give. And then we print the posters, we send them out. We still have donors and those who support us. So we always tell our friends. Actually, it's something that comes from within. Like I tell you, I tell a friend, your 50 shillings, your 100 shillings, and somebody else, that's a sanitary towel for someone out there. That's a packet of unga for someone out there. So that's how we do it with sponsors and then with us and our friends and family. Yeah.
Is it the same for you?
Yes. We are fortunate enough to have some well-wishers, some good ones. I don't know why.
And they are constant.
Yes, but people, you see, when you have such a project, people are really interested in it. Like you just find people wanting to chip in, to partner with you, to be part of it, and it's really nice sometimes. Yes, but as models, you still also have to pledge. Yes.
Yeah, you have to do something with your money.
Exactly.
Don't just depend on...
It's not about you looking all pretty, having all the latest makeup, having the latest shoe. No, it's you giving back to the society.
This
impact
is what
somebody's
the
life
demands.
Exactly.
Giving back.
Exactly.
You said that your experiences have been all good, nice, making you feel so good about the space that you're in. What is this one time you just remember that, by the way, actually, because of this is one of those things that just makes me want to stay in this kind of industry or space? What was that good experience for you?
So I will have to take you back to my high school. You remember that organization which came? So there was a prize for the top 5 it was a trip to Tanzania, and I was in high school. So I said, wow, if I get to travel now, what about in the future? And it's not, this is my first one. What if I focus and major in it? How many doors will it open? So when I remember that experience, it was really amazing because I didn't expect it at all. Yes.
So that was your best experience, traveling to a different country?
Yes, it was really nice.
Okay. What about you? What was your best experience?
Actually, let me call mine. It has a negative basis. I went for auditions, and whoever was doing the auditions told me to remove my glasses. I told them I cannot see without glasses. Only for them to tell me, ukwa tukubali vipofu. You know how that felt? It really had that. Yeah, it had so bad. And then I called my mom crying.
Glasses vipofu. You can't see.
I called my mom crying. I know my mom is watching. Mom, thank you. I called her crying and she asked me, excuse me, did I raise you to be broken by someone just because someone's words came out negatively? Why don't you look at those words in another picture? They're jealous of you just because they see you have a star. It is not something that should put you down in any way. Why don't you go out there and be a model in glasses? Be different. Be a brand. So yeah, it's the words be a brand that made me be where I am here. I sit down, I want to give up, and I remember I'm supposed to be a brand. I rise up. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that is a good place to take a break. When we return, we continue the conversation redefining model industry in this country. Stay with us.
In the future, we've got to stick together and live a better life.
Pinky and I are already divorced. She has nothing to do with me anymore. I only have one son right now, and he's Sean. I don't know why you're being so stubborn.
Are you with Pinky right now?
Listen, I'll talk with you later. I gotta go.
Helen, congratulations. You look amazing today. I'm sorry. The bridegroom may be a bit late.
It's okay. He must be on the way.
Jack, be careful! Pinky doesn't know how to swim!
Jack,
hurry and save her!
Welcome back, and many thanks for staying with us. We continue with our conversation. And before you went on break, we're talking about that good experience, which for you is a good and a bad, depending on how you look at it. Was it also one of those difficult times or toughest times for you getting into this space or career?
Actually, it was one of my lowest moments. You see, when I'm crushed and you look at the low moments you've been having, I look at that moment when I'm crushed and I'm like, ama huyu mtu alikuwa anasema ukweli, ama it's just true. Like I cannot see those glasses. I'm not supposed to be here. Like I even go to a point of asking myself, am I disabled? I'm supposed to be in the disability, people living with disabilities, but no. And inner me is like, excuse me, we're not doing this. So yeah, it's one of my lowest moments. Yeah.
You have had a very good journey. I mean, off air I was asking you, have you had a bad experience? And for you, it has been grace upon grace upon grace.
Yes.
Have you had a lowest moment?
Well, I would say when I was starting, because there was those pageants, you really didn't know what you were doing, because you know it takes a bit of experience. You have to train your walk, your smile, you know. So the first events I did, I really didn't know about these things. So when the winner is called out and it's not your name, sometimes you feel so bad.
You second guess yourself, am I even in the right space?
Yeah, should I really be doing this? But with time you perfect. Yeah.
So, I mean, looking at basically your experiences, whether good or bad, depending on how you look at them, it's all dependent on really what allows you to grow. Because it could be good, could be bad, but it's what allows you to grow. So, what does a typical day look like for you as a model?
Well, a typical day, I would say I start around 6 a.m. I love music a lot, so I usually take like 1 hour. I listen to some music. I do some small workout, you know, just to keep fit. Some squats, some what, just kidogo too. Then I freshen up. Maybe sometimes we have schedules. You find you have to attend to some meetings. Maybe you have a charity event. Maybe you have something just to attend to, you know. Yeah.
So you say that you do some just kidogo workout, but we know in the industry that exercise and what you eat is really important. So do you have like schedule for physical activities, and what kind of physical activities are involved? Because I know that must be there.
Yeah. So what I do, I usually like twice per week I go to the gym. That's all I do. Yes.
Just only twice a week.
Twice a week.
To maintain that body.
To maintain.
Which kind of model are you?
I'm a pageant model.
That's runway.
Yes, runway.
That entails, I think, a lot of activities.
Yes.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
But you only do twice a week.
Twice a week because first is height. I'm 5'4". So maybe you find there those pageants, they want 5'7" and above. So even if you audition, it's an automatic fail because there's that criteria they are following. So that's the biggest challenge I have faced so far.
Those are things that you really do not have control over.
Yeah, true.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
There's that aspect of skin color. There's a time we had this conversation sometime, I think it was last year, and the model we had on set was really talking about how there's a preserve for color, and particularly light skin. Has this ever been an experience for you?
Yeah, it has. It's always said the finest gold goes through fire, so that's it. I have faced that. I once went for auditions, and apparently most of the models were lighter. I was the only outstanding skin complexion that is all dark, and I went for it, passed the auditions, and the question was, are you going to pull it through in your dark skin? I only asked the judge, we have Lupita, she's dark, look at what she has achieved. Give me one girl who is light skinned who has achieved anything close to Lupita. And they're like, we don't have anything. And then I told them, look at Africa. Africa, we have a notion of being dark. Black is bold. Black is a gem. It's a color, until you go through it, that's the only time you can understand about black. So I never allowed anyone to put me down because of the skin color. It's nothing I can change. Yeah.
And it requires a lot of confidence to just stand up and say that. I mean, I can tell you for sure the aspect of skin color really comes a lot in this industry or in modeling as a whole, but you braced it. And here you are. So you are in an agency. Are you in one?
No.
You're a freelance?
Yes, I'm a freelance, but I'm under Miss Independent organization until my reign is over. Yes.
How is it working with an agency?
It's way easier because you do not manage a lot of your things when you're under an agency. And secondly, you go under training. And in a way, when somebody is under a rule, you're not careless with how you do your things. You're controlled, so it's way better. You're having interviews, you're having gigs. It's totally different. Your director manages most of the things. Yeah.
You are under Miss Independent Kenya, but so to speak, you're at least kind of freelance in a way. So does this give you ability to just do one of those things that you just love to do, or things that are out of whatever the organization might mandate you to do?
You know, when you become a Miss, there's a contract you sign for the 1 year. So there are some things you really can't do, and there's some which you do.
Which are the things you can't do?
So it's like an agency, but with a little bit of some freedom. Yes.
What are these things you can't do?
Well, you see, like now I'm Miss Independent Kenya. I can't contest for a title that's beneath.
Okay. Oh, onwards and upwards.
Yes, it's an international title. it's a national title, so you can't go lower. You only go higher. Yes.
With an agency, obviously, I know the things that you just cannot do because a lot of instruction comes from there. Is it the same as, you know, like what Liz is describing? Is there anything different?
In my agency, especially Little Miss South Kenya, you can never go lower.
So that cuts across.
You go low, you're decrowned. You cannot just be something of something substantial, then you decide to belittle yourself. You're done.
You're done.
Yeah, crown down.
Unatolewa kwa hiyo kirauni. Lastly, as we bring this conversation to a close, what next for you as Mrs. Supermodel Kenya? Let me start with you.
I'll be going to India. The dates are not out because they were changed because of Corona. So I'll be going to India for that, but that is not my most major thing. My major thing is having a brand or maybe an organization to do with women with glasses. I really want to major
You're so passionate about that.
Exactly. I really want to major on models in glasses. That is something really.
Bishako mark red dot kama pantre. Kauta kizogo we comply toza changle. Chukwa city sindio champes. 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 Sindio ma champes.
Nah bro, you ain't no champes. 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 You cannot be champes.
Nah pusho sindio ma champes. 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 Sindio ma champes.
Hell nah, you ain't no champes. Champes. Champes.
Bishane na champes, utaigiwa punches. Zako screensaver, bis zako zote manke.
You gotta relax, man. You're not in this rap game. Sipping on a cheap liquor. We only do champagne.
Luku zako mbwakne, wezi kuwa champes. Unajirombo sabure na ulikuwa classmate.
Nah, brother, see you cats hate. Me, I just stack cake. Oh, we used to school together. Thank you for the update. Seen you from over there, make you tell that it's a contest. We aim to make the hit and make you know that it's the wrong step. You two are the biggest superstars in the country. So in actuality, but do you be champions?
Boys, your champion.
What you mean I ain't no champion? Nah, brother, you are wrong. This boy be a champion.
Oh, we both of the champion.
Hell yeah, I'm a champion.
So if you know that you a champion, put them up, let's go. Champions,
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 champions. This into my champions.
Hell yeah, we be the champions, champions, champions. Yeah, we be the champions.
That's my studio champions,
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 champions. This into my champions.
Yes sir, we be the champions, 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 champions. It ain't no question, man. I've been brother. Comedy, I'm in dada. I'm sonning them, I'm big brother. They know I'm the king, brother.
All I do is win, brother. Move like I'm Sin Cara. All about my chingwala. Pull up in an impala. Ain't nobody testing me. Me, I got the recipe. I'm all be the legacy. Bust so don't mess with me.
Then a landlord akampatia notice ya kuhama.
Bad vibes, never let them stop me from my destiny. When I bless the beat, I go hard. Like I'm a beast with no heart. Man, I gotta represent. They calling me the Mozart. Mbokana big and back and well as it and great. Why I say, let them know they dealing with a champagne.
All right, and welcome back to the program. Good Morning Kenya is still on. Hapa tuko na the gang.
The gang.
Tuko about your moment ya kudakua. It is time for trending topics. Mike, what do you have for us tukianza kama neno?
Tukianza na maneno, we're starting off on a good note. DJ Creme de la Creme. Finally. And I think there's someone I had a bet with about this. DJ Creme and the wife, they're now back together. But now DJ Creme anasema, he's apologetic about saying marriage is a scam.
Oh yes.
You remember your time when I break up? The guy was living his best life on Instagram, posting all these, when you break up, all these quotes.
Was he really living his best life, or just trying to show us that by the way it is a scam? It is actually a scam.
Nile, after a breakup, hata sisikia vibaya, marriage is a scam, life is better out here, when you're single. So now, when things are good, so amekuja akasema, he's taking back his words. My marriage is actually not a scam, as I said it.
Me, let me tell you, someone said, watu wanajifunika nini moja. Do not join in their squabbles. Don't be in that bandwagon. Just let them be. When wanasema marriage is a scam, do not. If they are actually together. I mean, it's not the first time. The chances of these people coming together all the time. And you see, anytime people split over whatever reasons, and they go to social media trying to show us they're really doing their best life, chances are, just give it a little. Give it a month. tu kienda sana mwaka watu wanarudiana, so
I feel like it's the same case with DJ Shiti. As we saw the other day, baby mama drama ilikuwa inaendelea hapo on Instagram, but I feel ni watu wanasikizana. Because DJ Shiti even made a song about it, so I think they're just, making light out of it.
Yeah, Ukwinje, things are not as they seem to be. So it's like when your friends break up and then unaingilia kati trying to solve the problem, and then when they come back together you become the bad guy. Wewe ndio unataka kuingilia relationship ya watu, so you rather stay out of it. Mambo ya watu.
That is a child who looks quite traumatized. Once you discipline a child, let it be. Make sure the child understands, okay, you did this wrong, I didn't like it, don't do it again. But now when it becomes a point, even the child knows, because I could see, okay, I don't want to depict whatever I was watching on that video, but you could see that it's like something that happened before. The child is quite familiar with what kunyongwa is.
Exactly.
So this is very
something
tragic.
he has been saying, perhaps amekuwa akisema over time, and maybe it has gotten to the child.
When he was defending himself during the video, when he was apologizing again, he said that he didn't really mean it that way. It's something that it's done in the culture. It's like it's cultural. So you just say it, but you don't really mean it. That's what his grandmother used to do to him. Used to say to him, and at some point he slept outside or something of that sort. Just as a means of discipline, but you shouldn't project that to your child if that's what you went through in your upbringing.
We need to do better.
We need to do better.
And we'll keep talking about rates of suicide cases rising in this country, whether it's a child. I mean, we've also had stories of children committing suicide.
Exactly.
So when we keep talking about this child has committed suicide because of this and that, or this man or this lady, if it's a quest of culture, just the way you're saying, Steph, why would you want to do that to your child?
Yeah.
We keep talking about these high cases of suicide, people committing suicide. It emanates from such things as that. I said this, I said that. Then you see, it gets to a point whereby you actually feel and realize, kama ameniambia ataninyonga, si basi ninyonge wa kwanza before afike kwangu.
Exactly.
And you see, it makes me feel and think, what does that say about our social fabric as a society? I mean, just what things do we condone? And to what extent? Because from what you're saying, Mike, looks like it has been something that has been happening, only that perhaps this time it got to the internet. And there's always a thing about issues getting to the internet. That's when you realize, by there, let me say sorry, let me apologize, because now it's in the public domain.
Your image is that.
Yeah, if you are really to apologize, why would you wait for that to happen? I think there's some deep-rooted issues. Maybe you're not getting wind of or information about, but this is just it's beyond that flask or water bottle. It's beyond that repetition of nitakunyonga.
Yeah.
And the situation is actually, and I feel like one of these fine days, we need to have an interview about parenting properly, because there's parenting kukataza mtoto.
Yeah.
Then whatever we were watching on that Kasolo video, that is not parenting in any way, shape or form. And then there's the other side of the coin, where people don't even parent anymore.
They're just there.
Don't even parent anymore. Your child's parent right now is those two cartoons on Cocomelon. They're more familiar with those characters on Cocomelon than you.
As
exactly.
Actually,
which is very tragic.
We'll actually have that conversation on Monday. We're going to be talking about vulnerable children.
The jester was supposed to be able to say anything to the king without, consequence. That's the whole point of what a jester is. So when you tell comedians, you can no longer be free to be comedians. What are you saying? What is they're supposed to give out? Because they're supposed to say the things we can't say.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that is right. Say the things we can't say, but shouldn't there be regulations up until a certain
Not for comics. Not for comics. In entertainment, the rules are supposed to be different so that people have creative licenses to be themselves. To be whoever they want to be their inner child. The way Michael Jackson would put it.
Be whoever you want to be. The director says time is up. We are done for the day. Ayata, tukimalizia.
Yeah, just what you have said. Entertainers should be given the freedom to be themselves and to, because they're the mirror of the society. So what we can't say, they should project it out and we laugh about it. So, achwe, na nika sifkuzo.
He was in the mirror of society. Mike.
I think the only thing I would say is let's learn from that Kasolo video, please. And also remember, kumkataza is still part of parenting. Unaweza mkataza. Don't leave parenting to your TVs. That's actually the most important thing I would say.
And what would I say? This has been a great team, just bringing you what has been happening in this country and beyond, with the different conversation from 6:30 up until that time. And of course, on behalf of the entire team, we say thank you so much for watching. Join us again next week for an exciting episode of Good Morning Kenya. Up until then, stay safe, be good to one another. I'm Dorina Rangi Okelo. Till next week, good morning.
Keep abreast of the developments live from the National Assembly and the Senate.
On our members of parliament.
The questions.
When is the construction expected to commence?
The motions.
Beg to give notice of the following motion.
The debate.
Will as many as want to be to say aye.
The statements.
A statement on an issue of general topical concern.
The petitions.
Order number 4, petitions.
Stay tuned to KBC Channel 1 and Radio Taifa.